last night. Joining us now from The Athletic, and may I just say that it was, I think, 2 days ago, my Athletic yearly subscriptions renewed. So happy to do my part from a very a pulled back Sam Amick joining us right now. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I failed at the tech side of our visit today. Everybody gets to see the whole office, the garbage, the stuff in the corner. We're doing the panorama view, apparently.
Are we using a different camera today? Are we using our phone? What's going on?
No, it's your guys' program. I moved too quickly, and you have to select this camera view or the normal one. To be honest, it'll probably take me 10 seconds. Do you care? You want me to switch it up? Because the AirPods.
No, I don't care. I feel like you care more than we. I'm fine either way, Sam.
I don't care.
As long as we have your audio, that's good.
Yeah, no, we're good. This is the real messy office. Welcome to the house.
Well, no, Jason. He's off at a golf tournament, so it's you and I. And I would say no offense to Jason, but it's actually a compliment to him. Generally, when it's you and me, something gets aggregated. I don't know yet what it will be, but let's just say this. I know you got a whole NBA to cover, but let's start here in Sacramento. Win for the Sacramento Kings last night. Anytime they beat the Lakers or the Warriors, it comes with a little extra something, and they are 3-5 through 8. Is this around what you expected from this team so far?
Yeah, no, it sounds about right. I mean, their schedule is tough. I know that, every fan base is having its emotions played with this time of year, or at least most of them. So like before we visited or connected here, I was thinking, 3-5 sounds a hell of a lot better than 2-6. You can look back at those first four and certainly immediately, find games they could have won and they could be 500 right now pretty easily. But last night, to me, and I was there, is one that like in the course of 82 games when guys are going to be out, and even the fans who went last night were, I'm sure, disappointed by all the missing star players. Like a win is a win is a win when it comes to the standings, and in that regard, it was both teams that are trying to get things accomplished. I think we're trying to get that one, obviously, and to the Kings' credit, they actually got it done.
I was talking earlier about the struggle I have as a diehard Kings fan, knowing what I want the team to do for the year, which is get rid of salary, gather draft assets, get younger, rebuild, that type of thing, and also absolutely refusing to hate watch. I refuse as a fan to go, oh man, they won. That's but we also coined the phrase last week, entertainment, which they're not necessarily tanking, but if we
I like
can,
that. I never heard that.
Yeah, if we I know I got to get it trademarked. If we can have a year that puts us in a good position for the future, but at the same time let it be entertaining. That's the best of both worlds. And so far, you say what you want about this season and their record and whatever, but Sacramento Kings have been in pretty much every single game. Sam, with Keegan Murray out, with Domantas Sabonis missing some time here and there, Levine was out last night. I don't know. I don't know who else to credit other than the coaching staff. You've got a rookie coach that's trying to keep this ship together. I don't know if I can put my finger on it or not, but for them to be in these games with that many injuries and this much of a lineup shift, that's kudos to Doug, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's always hard to figure out exactly where the credit or the blame goes. I'll highlight one. I mean, listen, like the win over Milwaukee was so far the early highlight of the year. And to your point about Doug, who I've certainly been candid in our conversations in the past about how he got the job and where it was going and this and that, but they played Milwaukee. They beat a good Bucks team that was off to a good start. And, some of the tactical game certainly got my attention. Not only like Doug's willingness to listen to his players when, they talked after the game about DeMar DeRozan saying, hey, let's stop doubling Giannis and trust Domas on that assignment, after they gave up 47 points in the first quarter. Not only certain X's and O's things working, but, communication wise, you seemingly having a good open line with your guys and being willing to not just run the thing like a dictator and to listen to these. I mean, you legitimately have, some future possible Hall of Famers on the team. So that type of stuff gets your attention. The care and competitiveness gets your attention. And I will say, like I mentioned, I love the entertainment label, and that makes me think of, or the moniker, it makes me think of like the Westbrook edition. When you talk about just competitiveness, when they made, that decision, and I wrote about it, it was not real, not nearly as creative as your verbology, but it was like, maybe it'll work. That was my attitude. Like, it just, because we knew that this year was already lacking on meaningfulness and substance because of where the roster is, it was like, well, literally Russ's, personal mantra is why not? Like, and so I look at a guy like Russ and the competitiveness. I mean, they've got a bunch of old but proud, accomplished players, and that's going to manifest into, entertainment most of the season, I think.
Sam Amick of The Athletic with Sam. It's a great segue into Russ, because with you, my thought was with bringing Russ in, no offense to Russ at all, just simply that's not making the Kings younger, and his minutes will take somebody else's minutes that might need more development, whether it's a Keon Ellis or a Nate Clifford or whatever. But sometimes I like to not get so caught up in the macro and have fun with the micro. Not only has Russ been fantastic for this team this year from an attitude standpoint, a dog standpoint, playing hard, hustle plays and all that, but I sometimes stop myself and go, you mentioned Hall of Famers, and I would say the Kings comfortably probably have two, obviously Russ, and then probably, I'm sure, DeRozan. Probably at least over 50%, I would say Sabonis, and then a while to go with Levine. But let's say they could have up to 4 Hall of Famers on here, but no one is going to get in with more votes than Russ Westbrook. So you have this guy that's made probably over $250 million in his career. He easily could walk away from the game with his head held high. He broke the record for guard rebounds last night, all-time triple-double leader, all these accolades. And he's coming to, and I say this as a native, he's coming to one of the 4 probably worst outposts in the NBA with a team that has absolutely no shot at being relevant in May and June, and he's playing his ass off. And Sam, in this day and age, not to sound like an old man, but damn it, I think there's something admirable about that.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that. I have been, I admission time, I left the game in the late third quarter. And then when I saw Russ's press conference afterwards, I kind of wished I'd stuck around, because for one, he seems to be letting his guard down a little bit with the media. He seems to be in a pretty good place. And everything you said about the way he's competing is accurate, and not to do the comparison as a thief of joy thing, but like, you made me think of the Ja Morant situation in Memphis right now, where I do actually truly understand some of Ja's frustrations with his current coach. But like, one guy's making $40 million and is the franchise centerpiece and is giving 50% effort, and Russ is out here on a minimum deal. And not only that, to go even deeper, I'm sure you saw the clip a few days back when he was asked by a Nuggets writer about his time in Denver. And he very candidly said, well, they didn't want me back. And then he said, the reporter asked, did you think about, you had your player option, did you just think about picking that up anyway? And he just said, I don't go anywhere I'm not wanted. Someone was trying to tell me, well, that's stupid, because, you got to pick the option up and make him trade you. That's $5 million. Well, like you said, he's made $250 million. And he actually he's just a good old fashioned hooper. That's what he is. And so I'm not saying money doesn't matter to Russ. It does, but like, the game matters to Russ. And his legacy matters. I think he's smart enough to know that it would be a nice touch to have a non-controversial, highly competitive Sacramento Kings chapter, even if it ends in mid-April. If people walk away saying, damn, that guy just loved the game type stuff, I think that is good for him. And so far, that's what we're seeing.
That's a great way to put it. Baseball is the most romanticized sport in America. And we've seen, many a movie where the old ball player who still has a little bit left, is in the, whatever independent league, if you will. I know this isn't the same, and we're not exactly talking, or maybe we are, Jerry Rice with the Broncos, or, Shaq with Cleveland. But as you said, he had a triple double last night. He's playing his tail off. Great once again, twice in a row. Segue into John Morant.
Can I before we segue?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Which guard did he pass on the rebounding list?
Jason
I
Kidd.
should know this. J Kidd, okay. And to that point, I did love the reason I wished I went to the press conference. It was so funny. Like Anthony Slater is asking him about his rebounding skills, and I don't think Slater realized that he had passed the J Kidd, and for Russ to just turn and just be like, I'm the best of all time, and he says, I didn't I just pass somebody? Like he knows what he's doing. He's, again, he's proud, and right now he's enjoying himself. But yes, John Morant, not playing very proudly. What do you got?
No, not playing very proudly. And I understand why the Kings are the favorite here. The Kings' history of being attracted to the shiny keys, if you will, that are dangling in front of them. Also, their need for a point guard preceding the signings of Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. Also, I would imagine, I don't know if it'd be Levine or not, but you've got contracts that would match up beyond all the noise. And you said you understand some of Ja's frustration, but what are you hearing out of Memphis? Is this real? Do you anticipate Ja Morant being a Grizzly after the deadline?
For now, I do. There's a macro here that Kings fans can relate to that I'm still learning more about, which is that things are somewhat. See, now you got me nervous. I'm like, here's the aggregation part. So
here's the aggregation. All right, everybody out there, get ready. Sam aggregating in 3, 2, 1.
Now Sam's gonna go, political. No, just the Grizzlies don't have an arena lease agreement past the 28-29 season. People generally thought they would have an agreement with the city already. There's just, discussions on a $550 million renovation. And the point being like keeping the Grizzlies in Memphis. So what I'm trying to learn more about is, the powers that be out there, are they truly in good interest trying to keep it in Memphis? Because Ja kind of plays a part there, that he is the, even with all his controversies, he is the blockbuster item player, and they've already been among the league's worst in attendance for the last couple of years. So my understanding when I wrote a column yesterday was that, part of it was they know that if they trade Ja, like it's just going to be a ghost town in that arena. No offense to Zach LaVine, like the interest level is going to dip if a guy like Zach came. I mean, Ja is dynamic and electric when he's at his best. So that's the beyond the locker room stuff that is definitely, I think, worth monitoring. Within the team, in the basketball side, the messaging is that they have no interest in trading him. They're going to work through this. But the short version of what's happening with their coach and the coaching staff is, as you know, Dave, they fired Taylor Jenkins late last season, elevated a guy named Tuomas Isalo, who is a celebrated Finnish coach who, with Paris basketball, did some, stuff that was considered innovative offensively. But part of that included shorter stints with your players, shorter stretches of time, a little more of a regimented approach to your rotations that almost doesn't differentiate between star players and role players. And that is where the Ja Morants and the Jaren Jacksons are not enjoying things. If you watch a Grizzlies game around the 9-minute mark, it doesn't matter if Jaren Jackson's hot or not. He's getting subbed out for Santi Aldamas. Santi gets off the bench. A coach doesn't even have to go tell him that he's coming into the game. They just know that's the program around that time. And that doesn't leave a lot, especially a guy like Ja, who is I mean, I don't know what else to call him, but he's an artist. Like, he's a basketball artist. He's a guy who is free flowing and needs to run the show. And the way they're running it is not working for him. And this is easily the worst basketball of his life. He's just been atrocious for the most part.
It's funny you mentioned the Memphis thing, and I saw, it might have been you guys, the Athletics. Somebody had written about expansion, and obviously the favorites are Vegas and Seattle, but also bringing in the idea of relocation, and that the Pelicans, who we'll get to in a second, are a mess. The Grizzlies and the John Morant thing are going crazy. And, I hadn't brought this up on the air yet, but this was, I don't want to, and I also don't want to disrespect or blow up the, I was in New Orleans once, and I called in a favor from a game exec, sales exec there, to buy tickets. Oh yeah, it was for Kings Pelicans for the playoffs a couple of years ago for the play-in, and I'm still on his mailing list. And Sam, I got this email yesterday, and this blew me away. It says, "Good morning. I want to share a special offer we have today for courtside seats to the Pelicans versus the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder game, November 17th. These seats are located directly on the floor and include a premium food buffet, beer, wine, and liquor. Today, we're offering them for $300 a piece." Now, if you're sitting courtside at a Kings game, for example, it doesn't matter which one. These seats are generally, I think, between $1,500 and $2,000, just to give you an idea here locally. If you're in LA, New York, I mean, I don't know, but I'm imagining you could at least double that for Lakers and Knicks games. You get the idea. Sam, there are lower level seats at Golden One that are damn near $300 a pop. For them to offer that, and on top of that, the food, they're practically, I'm surprised they didn't throw in free parking. Yeah, the drink, and then on top of that, it's the Thunder, it's the defending world champions. Like that, I read that and went, "Oh God, these guys are in trouble."
You get playing time? Do you get to be in the rotation?
Right, you get to shoot a free throw. Like that's if their sales staff is doing that type of stuff, these guys are in trouble, man.
Yeah, no, that's all fair. That's all fair. I don't know if you want to go down the New Orleans road, but yeah, there's some parallels there. I am a little shocked. They won 2 games in a row, and there was a lot of noise around Willie Green before those 2 wins. And so, we'll see what happens there, but it's a disaster. And it's also, again, things Kings fans can relate to. When there's a distressed organization like Sacramento was during the whole possible relocation time, as you know, Dave, we live this. Like the NBA does have a track record of, it's not that they're doing the hiring for teams, but like when Chris Granger came to Sacramento, that was a league recommended hiring. And if
That's
people
right.
remember him, he was the president on the business side. Is that right?
Yes,
that correct?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
was.
point is,
he was Teambo president out there. Yes.
And stick with me here, but like Joe Dumars, former Kings exec, going to New Orleans feels very much like hey, the house is burning over here. Can you go, try to put the fire out? And I love Joe, and he's a legend, but man, he's been off to a rough start. And then the draft was a bad look for them with some of the moves they made, and now it's just a disaster. Skinny Zion has not exactly paid off. Now he's hurt. So, New Orleans is tough as well.
If you believe what you read from people you trust, I'm not saying you said this, but people that you trust that cover the team, obviously, Gail Benson is basically an absentee owner, does not care. Joe Dumars, look, I'm with you. All respect to Joe for his playing career, for the championship he built in Detroit in 2004, and just as a man, but take away the name. And I don't think he's gotten off to a bad start, Sam. I think if I didn't know anything, it's almost an incomprehensible, corrupt, what the hell is going. This is like the Luka trade for me, things that don't make sense. And I'm talking about the move that you and I both know, and I mentioned this to Jason 2 days ago, is going to be almost certainly a growing storyline in the NBA as we get closer to the end of the season. The pick they traded to move up to draft Derek Queen to Atlanta is an unprotected first-round pick. I believe they also owe another. There's a possibility, basically, that New Orleans could have had 2 picks in the top 10, top 5. That Derek Queen trade, the unprotected pick, is right now it looks like absolute incompetence on top of the low crowds, on top of Skinny Zion. And then again, just to put a cherry on it, the couple articles I read was nobody understands why Willie Green's still there. No disrespect to him, but that the team, he's lost the team. They don't respond to him. Any other team would have let him go and made a move, but Joe Dumars thought better. It sounds like a French fried mess down there, man.
Yeah, I mean, you captured it well. I honestly don't really know what to add to it. You've got a good feel for it. The Joe stuff. You think back to all the understandable criticism that Vlade took when he first took over the Kings front office, and the trade with Philly that had like fundamental flaws in it that exposed a lack of understanding of the rules, that type of thing. Where again, it's never personal, but like. It's fair to look at some of the stuff Joe has done early and at minimum incompetence or just bad management. And then, I know you love to throw your tinfoil hat on and wonder about, bigger controversies and implications, but I hear you. I get it.
Well, look, and forgive me. And again, I'm not trying to assail the man's character. You correct me if I'm going to say a few facts about Joe Dumars in my brain, and please, if I'm wrong, you say, Dave, that is incorrect. Okay. World champion, built a world champion, very much respected around the league. Drafted Darko Milicic over Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade. Okay. Was fined being caught in some sort of for leaking info to Adrian Wojnarowski. I got that right.
Yeah.
And then tried to make a power play in the Kings front office to get Vlade Divac's control out of there and take things over a few years back. Did I say anything incorrect?
No,
Honestly.
I mean, you're highlighting the lowlights for sure. That's
all.
I
said champion. I said highlights too.
That's fair. I mean, his time, this is not as sexy to the fans, but like his job with the NBA that he had for the past 5-6 years. And I think he was literally president of basketball operations for the NBA. And the top cop disciplinarian wise, every time there was stuff on the court, that's a very important role for Adam Silver and for the league. Again, one that I don't think casual fans really care about or understand. So but point being, his reputation within the NBA was elevated even more because he was a revered member of that small team that kind of shepherds all 30 teams. And so, I mean, that's another chapter that was a positive one. But no, everything else is fair. I hear you.
All right. Well, look, you know what I'm going to do the rest of the day, Sam, because I forgot that was Joe Dumars' job. I'm going to play a little game with myself, and I want you to as well if you think your game. I remember that once upon a time, that job years ago belonged to Kiki Vandeweghe.
Yep.
And now I'm going to spend the rest of the day trying to remember, because it's right on the tip of my tongue, dude. I'm going to try to remember as many, we'll just call them the top cop job, as many of those as between Dumars and Vandeweghe. I want to say there was somebody that went to the Knicks. Now that's going to bug me now. You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I know. I should know too. This is my job. You got an excuse. I mean, do you know who it is now? Do you know who replaced Joe now?
No, I didn't know. Do you?
Yeah. It's James Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, was one of them, remember during the lockout years ago, and what was it? The one who tweeted like, looks like there's going to be a season. Someone junior. You know what I'm talking about? It was an ex-player. No. Okay. Well, I'm going to.
It was good radio, though.
It really is. This is like as deep of basketball nerding as you can get. All right. That is, expect a forthcoming article from Sam Amick about all of that stuff. You can read all of his stuff at The Athletic. I'm a proud subscriber, paid subscriber, not once, but twice. And it's a steal at twice the price, which I think I'm actually paying. But damn it, it's worth it. Sam, we appreciate it. And we will talk to you next Thursday, brother.
Thanks, buddy. Talk soon.
Okay. All right. Take care. That is Sam Amick.